What I'm seeing here for the first time myself, so I'm a bit not sure what it is, other than it looks like I'm in an old corral. Maybe the ranchers are still using. I see some older and newer watering troughs. We're right on the new claims. Old rock walls, not that old. I mean, that was probably handmade. I mean, if you knew where I was, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Somebody brought all this stuff in. Now you can get a vehicle in here. I'm in here with just a Jeep, but it's not an easy route. I mean, look at some of this stuff. I'm not really sure what they did, but it is, I guess, you know, I don't know. It is on the start to the wash, so maybe you can see down here is the actual wash, and this is where we were looking at that blob in those canyons. So maybe they just used it for convenient watering spot for the cattle. Sure does look like a lot of improvements were done. There's a water tank. Check that out. Didn't even see that. Pretty large steel tank. So this must be just the trough. Just my gut tells me this was probably mining related at some point, but it's, I guess, been turned into cow related. Yeah, this is a trough. This could have been an old leaching tank, because look at all of this. Very interesting. All these old rock walls. These tanks were plumbed. I'm pretty sure, you know, and look, you have, I guess, all the way up here where they store in water when it comes down to the wash. That's possible. I don't know if you can hear that thunder, but it is monsoon time. Interesting. So this might be mining related, which is what's got me excited. We are on our claims. I'm not really seeing. Well, I'm afraid monsoon season is here. Just as your rain stopped, you can actually see it heading that way. I'm heading out on foot. Same area, got some blue sky. It's actually nice out here, probably like 90 degrees right now. That was a really welcome reprieve. Of course, I lost an hour, but look at this. I think I figured out, I'm in the same spot with the water tank. I figured out, I think, what was going on here. That looks to me like a damn wall of lithium. So so it's worth the wait. I'm gonna see if, I mean, am I losing my mind, or does that look like they chunked that whole wall on the side of that mountain? And we're looking at damn lithium, and that could explain what was going on here. You have these, you know, for lack of a better description, these little settling tanks where they heap leaching or heap leaching. I can't think of what they call that right now. My brain's mud, but it certainly looks like something big was going on, because they spent a lot of time and money in here, and this isn't exactly a well-traveled area. It's remote. Everything's got to come in by 4x4 or mule. So let me see if I can get up there. That's so damn steep. I don't see a path, but if there is a way. Right now, everything I've seen in these washes just looks like granitic material. Not a bad sign for in here, but not necessarily spodumene. So let me see if I can find out how to get up there, and I'll grab some samples, and then we'll have some answers. But very, 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 very encouraging. A little update, knowing that we tend to are now discovering water sources by these incredible lithium sites. Look at what you've got here. This is that wash. I'm hiking in, trying to get up. Oh, look at that. Just noticed, what the heck is up there? See those horizontal, what is that? Is that a track? Maybe just fencing. This is some pretty damn interesting terrain here on these claims. Anyway, I sorry. What I saw in here that captured my attention is you look at this black pipe you've got running down. So they must be grabbing water. If you remember on the site by 177 that had just the insane numbers of lithium, the high percentage, same situation. They had piped in from an old, I guess, a water source, a spring, and they used that as a watering trough for the cattle. And this is exactly what you got going on here. You can see it runs all back, tucked through this little path. Cattle use this, and if you follow that back a few hundred yards, you'll get to that trough. So good sign. Just wanted to pass that on. Going to continue up this trail, and I have not been able to find my way to that water tank. There's more piping, actually. That might be a path. It's just odd to me that you get into this kind of stuff and sorry, I thought I heard something. And you get into this kind of stuff in this remote area, and there's got to be a reason for it because it wouldn't be here otherwise. So look at this pipe. That one just dead ends. This that to me looks like that site up here where they tore down that whole wall. So I guess I'm just gonna have to pick my way. That's gonna be hands and feet, but let me see if I can get up there. This is definitely an old miner's path. Here's another look at the Jeep down there. Let's see where this goes. Oh, cow crap. I'm surprised you can get cattle up here. These things are pretty hardy. You know what? There's an old fence line. Look at that, an old fence line, and these ranchers were pretty damn hardy. I don't know who strung all that, ouch, barbed wire, but look at that, 5 strands up a pretty damn steep. Now we're looking down at that water tank right there. I don't know if you can see the top of it. That's that steel water tank, and this runs up the hill. We might be at it. That might be where the lithium is. I'll see if I can get there. I did not get to what looked like the old mined wall of lithium. I couldn't get past. It's too steep and it just dead ends. I just came back to that spot where all the copper was, and I'm seeing some pretty cool ore. So good news is look at that. That to me looks like the lithium bearing spodumene. So I'm going to grab some samples. It even has some quartz in here. I don't know if you can see some of these, but we're near where that blob is, where they picked up the really hot readings. So I'm going to grab some of this and we'll shoot some libs. It's not a total waste. And I still got to come through the other side of that canyon. The trail continued up in between those 2 peaks, so I'll see how far I can get. We've got about 2 hours of sunlight left, plenty of time. But remember, I'll shoot these samples, and if they're high in lithium, I'll shoot another video back at the Jeep with them, but I just want to show you in place before I grab them. I'm going to take specifically this one right here. So sure looks like what we're looking for. I'm going to probably grab this one too. This one. The quartz in there. Huh. So I'll take these 2 with me and we'll see what we got. Interesting. Hey Mac, look at interesting. I saw that, what I said what might have been rail across the way. I'm willing to bet that was probably some sort of homemade fencing, because look at here, I'm on this side of it, and there's your traditional, that's actually a man gate. But here you have running up that hill, and that's pretty damn steep, is looks like a homemade, home welded on site fence out of old piping, I guess. Maybe somebody got a bunch of steel pipe for free when they copper piped their house, and they they repurposed it as cattle fence. So maybe that's what we were seeing up there, because they've put interesting, they've put a man gate. The idea behind this is that people can walk through, and it's only 14 inches wide. Cow can't fit through there, so then they don't have to close it. I don't know what the heck, they sealed them up. And then you've got I just don't know what you've got here. Oh, look at that. First of all, before I lose this, I'm in that wash. This appears to be the head of it. Look like old banyan trees, but not, obviously. Look at the roots, exposed roots. So last year's monsoon season has come through and ripped all this up. But it's such large boulders, they you know, that it's not going anywhere. They stopped, and no need to fence too well here, because look, it's a 50-foot drop down into the wash itself. And look at all this cable. I'm still convinced that you've got something going on here. And then let's just see what is here, because that kind of looks like that lithium wall. More piping, quite a bit more piping. But look at this. Question is this man-made or natural? It sort of looks like they've just dynamited. Yeah, now I'm convinced we're on the lithium. Boom. Look at this. And that's what you see on the other side. More of that piping. This is actually, let me get in here. This is a really interesting site. See that? Look, more of that fencing up there. Let me see if I can zoom you in. More of the fencing running up. So maybe that was safety. So they blasted all this. This was an old quarry, maybe an old open pit. And they wanted to protect. Let me zoom you back out. I can't tell. Honestly, I can't tell if this is natural or man-made. Sure looks like they blasted. I don't know where all the material is. Obviously, they took it out, but you have all this water, this piping. I think we might be looking at just a massive, massive lithium deposit right here. And I'm guessing it was mined. I'm gonna obviously I'll pull some of this material and we'll get the libs on it, but just exploring with you while I've got the camera open. It's paralleling the wash. It's pretty rocky. And very heavily treed. This reminds me of something you'd see in Colorado, not in Arizona. Interesting. Now you've got double pipeline running up in here. Might make that quadruple, 4. This one is interesting, to say the least. Let's just see where it terminates here. Sorry. More of this lithium looking material. Every time I think it ends, it continues. More iron pipe in there. See that? Boy, they sure put a lot of time, money, and effort in here. And that just runs, as far as I can see. Well, I could spend all day doing this. It's gonna be dark soon, but let's get some samples and see what we got. If it's lithium, I'll hike it back to the libs, and then I'll work on trying to map the extent of the deposit. If not, we know we've got an abnormal, something that we can't figure out, and we'll move on. Keep you posted. Let me try an easier piece. This one's relatively flat. Now this is the sample I took from what looked like that pit. Let's see if this works. Just out of handicap with one hand because of the curvature of the rock. So look, lithium, don't really know what 3.62 correlates to. Titanium, aluminum, magnesium. Ooh, we got some silver in here. Beryllium, iron. Interesting. So let's take that same rock, and I'm gonna, right now we're in Element Pro, I'm gonna switch us. Sorry, I'm using my fingers to shift. I'm gonna do a geochem. We now switch to lithium pegmatite. Here's the real test. Same rock. Let's see if I can do this. Did you see that huge number of lithium show up and then back off? Look at that, 1.75%. I think that, let me just scroll. Nope, that's it. That kind of tells us everything we need to know. I'm gonna try it again. This is, by the way, the rock. These two, ironically, all of these samples look the same. So I thought we were high copper and potentially lithium bearing spodumene. It looks like they're all the same, just from two different areas. So let me get in on this rock again. Let's just shoot one more. Watch that lithium number. Can't tell if I'm seated. Nope. Okay, let's try that. Totally different reading. Not a great one. Sorry, from the same spot. Let me just turn this rock over. Let's just try the other side. Okay, I think that's good. Yep, look at that lithium number. So, and, well, you see it all right there. So that is something up there. Whatever the hell it is lithium bearing, and there is a lot of it. And we haven't even gotten that far in the canyon yet, because where we pulled those samples is from somewhere over here on the other side. You can't see it here, but on the other side of that. So what can I say, except they weren't kidding when they said massive deposit. I can see what they were picking up on now in the overflights. It's too big to scale in one day. Scope is just too large. Pretty damn good sign though. Just wanted you to see that on camera.